And welcome to episode 15 of Constructing New Walden City. I'm your host, Dr. Wasabi, and today we are below the Glowco skyscraper. We are in the Glowco laboratory. Yes, this is what we showed you in episode 14 at the end of the episode. So this is going to be the feature of this episode. We're going to make a wonderful layout of the lab so far, but I just want to make a little PSA, public service announcement. My TV is on mute, so you will see me kind of clearing the weather a bit, because what I've found is that the thunder kind of cuts into the video. I was watching last episodes just to review if everything went okay, and all I could hear very randomly, you could hear when the thunderstorm was coming along, because all you could hear was over the actual game music itself. So I do apologize if you hear that, so I will kind of clear the weather as we go along. But that is the focus of this episode. We're going to make a lovely layout of this kind of color scheme we've got here, and we're going to do some fantastic interiors. I've already made a kind of prototype kind of design here where the door is going to be. I'm not sure if I should keep it 4x4, because obviously we want it bigger scale, bigger detail, but we'll see what happens. So before I start to do anything, I just want to say, if you like what I do, if you like my content, then please like and subscribe. It's heavily appreciated, because of course it bumps me up in the algorithm below, and of course it spreads my content to you fantastic people. So let's get on with the video at hand. Okay, right, with the pleasantries out of the way, let's get on with the build at hand. So let's get out our trusty night vision potion, because I doubt you would see anything in here. I was doing a kind of a mini recording just to see how the lighting was, and my god folks, you cannot see anything of that. I was pushing myself against this wall trying to see where the edge was. Oh dear, but let's continue with the layout at hand. So I'm thinking of something around the lines of I know last episode I made comparisons to the map 5, which was the inspiration for this underground laboratory. Obviously it doesn't look like 5, obviously I put my own inspiration on it and my own design choices, but the kind of concept is the same in that regard. So what we're going to do, we're going to have kind of like a maze kind of system of corridors and facilities over here. So perhaps corridors will be around every corner, so we'll have a corridor going around here and here and here, around this corner, and then, you know, obviously wrapping back around here. Maybe, perhaps. Actually, it might stop here. Yeah, that seems good. Yeah, so we'll have kind of like an N-shaped corridor system over here, and perhaps we'll have all of these lovely things, lovely corridors kind of intersecting into here, like so. So I think that is going to be the plan for the corridors. As for the rooms, we can make the rooms however big and small we want. We have quite a lot of space to work with, so I think that's kind of a blessing in disguise. But just to be on the safe side, we're going to make a bit of a square here, folks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's make a little cube around here. Nothing too big, but obviously this is a big part of the Glowco kind of PR and R&D. Making new products and something like that. Obviously, because it's in the Fallout universe, I'll perhaps put something more sinister in here. As you can see, we have a slightly different mob spawner through here. Now that has a lot of zombies in there. I accidentally broke the block and they all kind of ran out, so I had to deal with that, as you would imagine. But yeah, we are going to have some cooking experiments in here. Perhaps some experiments with glowberries and test subjects, see how that kind of goes around. We might even have some weapon experiments here with various crossbows, and we'll kind of have the lore of the world kind of enriched a bit more. So there we go. Right, let's build this up here. Now this will be in the same color scheme, although perhaps we might make a more sterile environment for the more kind of serious experiments, so to speak. Because obviously, you know, when you think of a laboratory, it's very sterile, it's very kind of color free, it's all wet, I was about to say wed, but with a lisp. White, grey, and black kind of colorations there. So we'll see what we can come up with. Obviously, this is a bit more of a fun kind of glowberry kind of part of the lab. So this is where I'll kind of be experimenting with glowberries and all sorts of things. So what we can do, oh pardon me, I just burped. What we can do is we'll have a laboratory here, and then what I'm thinking, what I'm kind of what's in my head at the moment is that we'll have a growing part for glowberries over here, and then we'll have various facilities over the world where, you know, perhaps we might have the original place where the glowberry was grown and evolved in this part of the world, and we can kind of make a story around that. But that is the general vibe of what we're going to be doing here. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to start with the growing area first, and then we are going to get on with a time lapse. I think that'll be quite nice. We don't do enough time lapses, I think. Sometimes it can get a bit boring, so we're gonna do something a bit more fun here. We're going to be making perhaps like a tree or something along those lines. We'll kind of have like an artificial biome in this area here, and then actually what we can do is we can make a little space over here. So this will be like a decontamination part of the lab. So they come in, they decontaminate, and then they kind of come in here and pick up the glowberries and in this kind of artificial biome. I can say here. So I think this is get rid of that wall. So I think it is time to start building up this artificial biome. So I will see you for the time lapse.
I can't lie, I really, really
And we are back after our time lapse. Now that was quite fun to do, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of what we have done so far. But before I do, please like this video if you like it, and of course subscribe to my channel if you like my content. Okay, right. Shameless plug out the way. Let's go into our lab. Now remove the doors just for satisfaction. So we have done some stuff in the lab here, which I will get back to once we've toured the kind of biome lab over here. So this is the decontamination area. So I made a nice little decontamination machine with little hoppers spraying the water out, or whatever they use to decontaminate. Obviously I use nice trapdoors underneath sea lanterns to make a nice lighting effect. You don't really see it when you come in, but it keeps the room lit. So we're going to go inside, and wow, look at this. Now I changed out the original block because I did mention that most labs are quite sterile color palettes. It's usually white, greys and blacks, so I kind of integrated that into the design over here. I used light grey concrete for the base and white concrete for the main wall itself. So I've essentially whitewashed this this color palette over here with dark orange and the light orange. So we have made a wonderful little, I wouldn't say tree, I would say like massive root system around here. So I love the feature how it's almost like breaking through the roof. But they kind of have it under control because of the climate. So I made these wonderful little features here where the roots are kind of breaking through the roof. And you can see them here, the hanging root blocks, and the added some coarser among the root block. Just to add a bit of variation, contrast against the differing textures. So I made a kind of arc around this part of the room. So I at first made this part of the tree, and I was like, hey, this looks nice. I thought maybe what would be good if we made a kind of a loop, not a loop, but kind of a rainbow, a wooden rainbow. We can call it that, using two different trees in this this build, and then we can put the glowing berries, the glow berries, hanging down from the loop itself, the arc itself. And I think it turned out pretty nicely. In terms for lighting, I didn't need to do much. I kind of went for a design here, the same in the decontamination here, and did the same thing. But notice how I did it very differently. I made it a lot more rusted. I chose oak trapdoors because it makes it look like the iron has rusted through, like the nature itself is kind of rusted through the iron trapdoors and consumed the lighting fixture, or almost. And I tried to do it over here, but as you can see, it's completely covered up, so I didn't really try anything over there. As for the floor, though, we use a nice kind of variation of grass, and of course we put oak wood into the floor to signify how the roots are growing. Obviously, because below this is bedrock, so they won't have much to grow around, like so. And before you say anything, no, they cannot grow through the smooth stone. It would take hundreds of years in the world itself for it to grow. So perhaps if there was an apocalypse, this would grow out throughout the facility. So that'll be quite nice to see if that ever happens. But that is the general idea of the biome room. I think this turned out really nicely. It isn't too detailed, but it's simple enough, and you know, people get it. They walk in, it's like, oh, this is where they kind of pick the glow berries and put it in under for experimentation. Right, so let's go through here, and this is the lab which we are going to be working on more today. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some gosh darn lighting in this place. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace this outward ring of prismarine blocks like so, and this is going to be our replacement for the outer ring of smooth stone like so. I'm just going to bring this around here. Now what you may be thinking, what is this kind of how can I say this? What is this kind of copper ring around the edge? Now this is the ventilation system. So this is where, you know, the kind of clean air comes around, because we are quite deep underground. So there will be quite quite a lot of air circulation going around the facility, especially the deeper you go down, which we are pretty deep. We are, as you can tell by the coordinates, we are a few blocks below from bedrock. So you'd imagine this would need some circulation. So we have some nice droppers to signify like the air vents where they're kind of going through. We will have big events. I might have secret kind of entrances through paintings or something, like going into the vent systems or something along those lines. So now that we've got that out of the way, we can start kind of shaping this lab out a bit more successfully. So I have started with the middle. This is going to look blocky. What we need is something like a centerpiece room. So what I've decided to do is we've had some experimental glowberries being shown here. So we're just going to show these down here. Perhaps these are the kind of the root system or the hanging vine leaves that are being experimented on. I'm not going to bone meal them just yet, just so it's like that. So what we're going to do now, so obviously let me just bring this down one more block, like so. Okay, right, so that is out of the way. We've added some nice brewing stands. I always love to put brewing stands in labs because it always signifies like some kind of science element, like you're making potions or you're kind of doing some chemistry work in here, which is kind of what these people are doing. They're kind of looking into the berries, seeing what we can do with them. But I think another thing to put in is obviously they're going to need a fridge. That is something that they are going to definitely need. So we're going to put some fridges in here. Let's put one here and one here. Let's see, let's get out a lovely smooth quartz stairs. That'll be nice. Putting over here, we're going for a more 50s kind of looking fridge because obviously this is in a Fallout universe, and of course they will have different things. Now I want to put something in the middle of here. We can put a nice crafting table because a lot of people don't realize that lots of labs have different tools for stuff, and when you look at a crafting table, it's basically a block with tools on it. Like you got your little mallet, you got your little saw. You know, it kind of matches the kind of theme we're going for here, which is kind of like an adventurous experimental lab. So if we go into the items section, we will be able to find a tripwire hook, and then we can put this on this fridge and that fridge there. Okay, hunky dory. We are done with that over there. Now what we can do, actually I might move that brewing stand over there. How does that look? Yeah, it looks fine. Now there are a number of things we can do over here. I'm thinking, ooh, we might be able to push this this over here, this kind of shelving system. Well, I'm not sure. What do you think, folks? What do you think? Ooh, we can push it all the way over here. Actually, yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, so we can put a number of stuff over here. So let's put some filing cabinets, like so. What else could we put? We could put some more crafting tables. Let's see, crafting tables here, and then results in that I just want to file in to these little file cabinets. I know, obviously they're beehives, but they look like file cabinets, so we're going to use them. What else can we use? We can use something along the lines of so something industrial, something along the lines of a smithing table. Actually, yeah, that'll be very nice. Maybe a brewing stand here. Oh, yeah, we're getting somewhere. Maybe a bookshelf over here. Just a small one, obviously, because this is a experimental lab. They can do the reading somewhere else, but just in case there's like an instruction manual for the devices that you have to work here, they can always kind of come up and grab the book out from the bookshelf. So anything else we can use here? Let's see. Let's use some stone cutters, like so. So obviously this can be used to cut the vine roots out from the you know, the vines and the root systems over here. It seems like my my family's gotten home from work, so no, not my family. God, what am I saying? But my brother's gotten home from work, so I do apologize if you hear any kind of commotion outside the door. Can't really help that. So we go outside to the item section. Perhaps we could use some flower pots, like so. Can you not? Oh no, you can't use flower pots on slabs. That is very no. Wait a minute. We're using. Oh my god. We. I tried to use a bowl. Oh my god, could you imagine that? Right, there we go. I was that's. Oh god, I'm so stupid. Right, and let's see. Here we go over here. I can't believe I just did that. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, so we're going to add another washing bit over here. So just so you can understand the process of what we kind of did off camera. So we get our light concrete, we kind of extend this out to the front door towards the contamination chamber, and then we go up like so. So we use some hoppers, some wax concrete, and some end rods. So what we can do is use this. So this can come down here. Oh, actually, this is perfect, because what we can do, we can actually use... Come on, there we go. A singular... Oh, I went to the wrong place. Actually, that's fine. We can always use... Come on, what's it called? There we go. Like so. Oh, look at that. So, I think I'll be with you in this short intermission just to get everything out. So, I'll see you after this short clip. And we are back after a short intermission. So, let's see what we have created thus far. You may have noticed there is a... we blocked off that entrance, and that'll be important later. So, let's go into the lab area. So, not much has changed, to be fair. I did in a few details. For example, I changed the blocks over here. This was I'm pretty sure this was polished inside. What was it? No, these were slabs. Yeah, I remember this. These were slabs, so I changed this out. So there wasn't really much to polish out on the lab itself, but we managed to get some good things in here. We changed up the shelving a bit and all that good stuff. So again, this is pretty much the same. What I do want to show you is the second room that we created. Now if we go into here, this is the new storage room. Now look at this. Ain't this fancy? So I kind of reckoned, because you got a laboratory on the other side of the corridor, it would only seem kind of logical that there would be a storage room that they could get supplies and work on. Perhaps if they needed another tool, or they needed a special equipment piece, they would go into here, kind of look around and take what they need and come in, and obviously people would come down and fit this out on the regular. So I can imagine that this laboratory is self-sustaining, in that people would live here, do their work months at a time before kind of leaving and being replaced by another scientist or laboratory worker. That kind of contract, I can imagine. So I tried to be a bit more creative with the block choice. So I first went over with I think it was 4-block rotation of crafting blocks, beehives, note blocks. What else? And actually no, it was a 3-block rotation. So crafting tables, beehives, and note blocks. And I kind of differentiated each corner with different stuff, as you can see. So we just place them over here. So of course you got some target blocks that might come into the story of this location. Maybe they're doing some shooting practice. We've got some monster spawners. I don't know what they're doing there. You know, adds to the secrecy and the mystery of it. We've got some amethyst blocks and some brewing stand. The brewing stands are explainable, and of course we have some. Actually, what do we have here? We have some redstone lamps. Now this could be for some technological reason, some equipment, perhaps a bulb goes out in one part of the laboratory. They can come in, get a redstone lamp just to retrofit it, and wait for a replacement to come over. Now there is a special part that I wanted to show you. That this may look like an ordinary painting, and you'd be right, because it is an ordinary painting. But what you don't see behind said painting is secret corridor. Now where does this go? Now it may get a bit dark for a second, and that is entirely the point, because we go over here along the corridor, and behind here we go wabam. Oh, it's a bit dark over here. 1 second. Potion of night vision. Aha, right, so this is yet to be lit up, but this goes into the second part of the corridor here. So this is like a little secret escape hatch, perhaps if there's a lab leak or something horrific goes wrong, which I'm sure it won't, wink wink. So this will go into the more secretive part of the laboratory where more extreme experiments are being located. For example, because Glowco in itself, that's the company name by the way, so it makes Glow Pop, but it is also a power provider. And that's why I got the name Glowstone, Glowco, you know, it kind of goes together. So we will be they will be doing some glowstone experiments, which I will be very eager to show off to you folks when the time comes. But I think this is a really good start to the laboratory so far. We aim to fill in this entire space. I want to do the same as I did with the skyscraper to make sure no block is kind of left with this kind of spare space, if that makes sense. Because what happens is you have these gaps in the wall and it adds to the lag. It's just better to have anything that isn't being used filled up. And it just makes the world so much better in terms of handling and quality and FPS. So we will be doing that. But that has been the end of episode 15. But before we do go off, there's a few things I want to show you. One is, if you do like this video, if you like my channel, please like and subscribe. It's heavily appreciated because of course it bumps me up in the algorithm below and spreads my content to you amazing folks, so please like and subscribe. Now this is a very special part of the video because I get to show off what has been happening over in the world itself. I know it's kind of a mix between showing off and seeing if there's any new stuff on the world. So they could get out of the city and this road will take them directly to the road to the Glowco factory, and I did not I was not fibbing on that statement, folks. Now just look at this. Oh wow, this has been I wouldn't say it has been a nightmare to do. I would say though that it was quite difficult. Obviously we will be paving over. If it does, it is showing outside the world itself. So if I go outside here, like so, yes, you can you can see it above the recommended height. So we will be kind of elevating the floor of any natural places just to hide this massive this absolutely massive tunnel here. So this goes around here, so this goes just straight. Now if I go anywhere closer to this goes into the into the ocean. So I will be filling this up, by the way, folks. It takes a turn, and this will be taken all the way down to the Glow Pop factory. Not necessarily because of the factory itself, but because it just takes you to another area of the map, which I think is quite an interesting feature. But truth be told, I have made it this height so it doesn't interfere with the subway systems, which I plan on making, because I think cities have like certain levels where you kind of have the tunnels, and then the subways, and then the sewage, and then so on and so forth. I want it to be a really decently planned city, so we will be doing stuff like that off camera. But anyway, that has been episode 15 of constructing New Walden City. I want to thank you so much for watching. This has been a real blast to do. I always love these kind of fun builds to do. Not to say that most builds are fun, but you know, sometimes you get to be really creative in what you can do here, and I think we've done exactly that this episode. If you like what I do, please like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me greatly. I do uploads every Mondays and Fridays, and of course when I'm able I do live streams every Wednesdays and Sundays. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching. Like, honestly, it's been so great. I also want to say, as a special announcement, we've almost reached, I think we're going to reach 300 views on my, It's Just a Burning Memory Minecraft analysis, which is absolutely phenomenal. I kind of had to look twice when I was looking at that, so well done us. It has been a great achievement, so I just want to thank everyone for that. So, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching this episode. I want to say good night, and of course, as always, God bless.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.
afternoon, today's high near 57 degrees. Tonight, more cloud cover with the lowest freezing.